Hello everyone. I wanted to make another video about what I have been farming the past couple of days with my KBOC Necro. This is my Kinetic Blast Clustering Necromancer build that I just re-rolled into, and I have been farming Legion. This build is awesome for Legion. Legion is one of my all-time favorite farming strategy league mechanics in Path of Exile. I absolutely love Legion. I just think that it's so much fun. You go in there, you get some epic music, and you just kill a ton of monsters and you get a ton of loot explosions. Now Legion is a little bit different this league. We are used to seeing, a lot of fossils and different kind of loot that Legion no longer drops. So basically just the fossils, we're not getting fossils from Legion anymore. However, we are getting still a ton of incubators. I've only been picking up the ornate incubators and the diviners incubators, but we are getting these new incubators, these Mirage specific incubators, and these have been going for a good amount of currency. So I've been getting a good amount of currency from these. And then of course, we are still picking up emblems, a ton of emblems. So Templar emblems, Mariketh emblems, these are worth quite a lot. Last time I checked, the Templar emblems were actually worth more than the Mariketh. Let's take a look here. Okay, 31 cast today, and Mariketh is for 30 cast today. So it was just a couple of days there, but when you're running Legion, it's important to know, what's selling. So I spec'd in briefly into Templar stuff because they were going for a lot more the other day. Max map effect. There is some, it's kind of a weird topic, but I'll go into it real quick. So question is, does increased quantity of items found in your maps scale the Legion rewards? The Legion rewards, it seems to be the consensus is no. It does not scale the Legion rewards. Now bear with me, because Legion monsters drop ground loot. This will still scale the ground loot in the maps. Okay, so I think it's worth it. They do drop a good amount of ground loot. As I'm doing Legion this league, I'm getting a lot of good Scarabs. I've multiple containment Scarabs, some raw divines. So I do think it's worthwhile to spec into the additional quantity here. If you need it, I mean, I don't think we need shrines. Maybe someone could do some. We don't need shrines. We're doing Headhunter, so we don't need shrines or something like this. Or sulfide intoxication. Like we don't need anything extra to help us carry. To carry us through this. We have the Headhunter, so it's important. I think to take some extra quantity here. Taking the Legion stuff here. Some more pack size. Okay, another weird topic. Does increased pack size affect or scale the Legion mobs? I don't think there's, quite frankly, just I could be wrong about this. So just, put something in the comments, be honest, like just tell me what you think about what I'm about to say, but I did a lot of searching. I haven't done the complete spreadsheet stuff myself. I think it seems the consensus, it seems like it does. It seems like increased pack size does scale the amount of mobs in the Legion encounter. However, I think people have done some testing and some data, and it seems like maybe even so, it doesn't have a big or maybe there's a negligible effect on the amount of rewards you get. So I just put it anyway, because at the very least, maybe it gives us more Legion mobs. Maybe this does or doesn't give us more rewards. At the end of the day, it's gonna put more monsters in the maps, right? So, it can't hurt. Also, we're going to take invasive adversaries. I know I'm spending a lot of time on the Atlas here, but there's just a couple points because when I was, I always do Legion and I'm always looking at this sort of stuff. So, and then of course we take, the setup down here for Eternal Conflict. So, we want increased duration of stasis. Legion encounters have increased duration. We want additional sergeants, etc. So Legion, block a couple things we don't want. Mobs, Scarabs, Mac effect. That's about it. I tried a few different types of maps for the strategy for Legion this league. I think the best one is definitely gonna be the Mirage enchant. So I've just been buying tier 16 8 mods with the Mirage enchant off of PoE trade, just directly off the trade site for about 60-70 chaos. You can probably find them like on TFT or something, but I've been just using the trade site. They're cheaper there. Usually they're not too hard to get. So we're getting the entire map covered in Mirage. So with our Scarabs, we're getting 3 legions between our Scarabs and the Astrolabe. We're getting 3 legions encounters, or excuse me, 4 legion encounters per map. So with the Mirage area, we're getting a total of 8 legion encounters per map, effectively. So I think this is just the best value. As far as the Scarabs go, it's 2 legion Scarabs, 1 legion Scarab of treasures for a little bit more rewards there. I tried adding more treasures and less treasures. I think 1 is, for me, it's felt like the sweet spot. Let me know in the comments if you've experimented with this and if you find more of these or less of these to be more rewarding. I'd be very interested to know what you guys have found and figured out. 1 Legion Scarab of Officers and 1 Legion Scarab of Eternal Conflict. We are using the Legion Astrolabe, and that's it. The rest of this stuff you can ignore. So as you can see, I already have an active Legion blob here. Of course, we are running Dunes. It's just the best map for Legion. It's just wide open. It's just the best one. Nothing really compares. If anybody's curious how much currency I've been making doing Legion, with this strategy, it's about 30 divines an hour according to Wealthy Exile. Of course, this depends how fast you run your maps. I'm not the fastest mapper in the world by any means, but I do try to minimize downtime. If you'd like some more tips, stick around for some footage of me narrating a map. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Caudillo. Let me know what you all think down in the comments and enjoy the rest of the league. Let me know if you have any tips. I love Legion. Legion is so much fun. I just can't get enough Legion, so tell me, what's going on. What have you found with Legion? What's working? What do you know that I don't know? Let me know if you run this and if you get any crazy sweet stuff, etc.
Shifting, morphing, expanding.
As discussed, quantity and such does affect ground loot, even from the Legion mobs. That is my understanding. So I always come and... Uh-oh, we got a shaper thingy. I always come kill the boss first. It's just the way I like to do it. Once the boss is dead, come around, clear the regular mobs. Pick up altars. Alright, once I've picked up the altars, I begin a Legion encounter. Sometimes the PC handles it just fine, sometimes it does not go well. I think it depends on the server a little bit. Sometimes you have to kind of manage how much you're spamming this to keep the game from freezing. I like to go around at least one time, kill everything once, and then find, a pack of sergeants and just kill these guys over and over again until they break out of stasis.